Hello everyone, this is the prediction video for Joyce Chisora and the Undercard. I'm recording this pre-weigh-in, which I don't like to do, but my fighter Joe Aiden is actually fighting tomorrow in his 15 pro fight, so we have a weigh-in to do today. Got a busy day, so if anything happens at the weigh-in majorly, that could change my predictions. I will let people know in the comments. But Joyce Chisora, the weigh-in shouldn't make much difference there, really. Joyce has been looking really big lately. He's heavy. He looks, don't want to say, he looks big, do you know what I mean? Like, too heavy, really. I think Joyce Chisora is a really difficult one to call. Chisora, like I said in previous videos, a massive puncher, and Joyce is susceptible early. Kuzmin did him in the amateurs. I think Joyce is susceptible to body shots as well. We know that. I inspiring myself. I've seen that. Bryant Jennings, he's been hurt to the body a few times. Chisora, however, not really a noted body puncher. I do think Chisora's got a couple of rounds to win this. If he doesn't get the job done in maybe 2-3 rounds, I don't see him winning the fight. I don't see him winning on points. I don't think he carries his power the same later in fights. I'm just eyeballing BoxRec here as we speak. I think a lot of it is what they've both got left as well. We know there's not really too much left in the tank for Chisora really at this stage, I would have thought. But Joyce, the last fight with Cash Ali wasn't really a huge test of his punch resistance and stuff. Cash is very good at what he does. We didn't have much time to prepare, and you know, it was what it was. So after the Zhang knockouts, we yet to really see him tested. So my prediction is probably a Joyce stoppage. Probably go for a Joyce stoppage. Yeah, I think if he's smart early, you know, I'd like to see him on the move early, to be honest. Get behind his jab. He's got a good job. Get behind his jab. Use his feet. Let Chisora, you know, have a go and weather that storm and then take over. I think when Joyce gets in a rhythm, I don't really think there's anyone that can stop him. He never got into a rhythm with Zhang. You know, big southpaw like that, big punching southpaw. There's nothing like a smack in the mouth off a huge puncher to upset your rhythm. And I think if he gets through the first few rounds, I expect him to stop Chisora. The next fight, Balla. Balla was a brilliant fight last time. I think I picked Balla to win last time, actually. And I did think, with the scorecards, I think maybe a level going into the last round if it had gone there. I thought Balla was gonna take the win. It's interesting because Balla isn't getting any younger. Although he's not an old fighter, but he's had a lot of hard fights. And you would think McKenna would have the more improvement. But again, a really difficult one to call. And a brilliant fight as well. A really, really good fight. The last fight was nearly a year ago, actually. We saw McKenna beat Strand. Strand's a good fighter. So I just think McKenna will have improved so much from the experience of the first fight. You know, he's had the strong fight in between. Balla has been inactive since. You know, if I had to pick, I'd say it's gonna be another close fight. Maybe edge McKenna. You know, he's had the fight in between. The younger man who will have improved more off the back of the first one. That was probably his first real test. But in terms of a confident prediction, I couldn't give you one, to be honest. So for betting purposes, that one would be left well alone. The most interesting fight on the card for me, personally, is Ryan Garner and Archie Sharp. I think they're two of the best talents in the UK that aren't really spoken about massively. Sharp a few years ago was really, I think he was number one with the WBO maybe at one point. Garner, I've always raved about Garner. I think he's always been a fantastic fighter. I think it looks like he's got himself sorted out. He's got a lot of activity now. I think this is another difficult one to call. You know, you've got two 50-50s and a great heavyweight main event. So I think this is a brilliant card, you know. Really, really good. As for Garner and Sharp last time must have been out for a long time, and he came back, he got dropped. And I thought he boxed okay. Garner has been active. Again, you know what? Again, another 50-50 again. And one I'm not really... Again, I'm really difficult one to call. If I had to edge one way or the other, I'm probably edging Archie Sharp. I think Archie Sharp. I think the last fight was in the world of good. So I want to go Sharp. Yeah, which hurts me because I've been a big Garner fan for years, still am. The next fight, Ituma and Marius Vak. Very interesting fight. How many 19-year-olds, you know, would be 5 and 10 on against a fighter like Marius Vak, even at his age? There's not many. If I had about Marius Vak at 19, I wouldn't have got out the first round. It's Ituma was good. I was watching him the other day. I was watching him, my old man. He's an incredible talent, really. The only 2 times, I wouldn't say that he's not impressed me, the only 2 times that I've had my doubts about him was when he boxed Dobyshenko and the Argentinian fella. And he fell out of himself a bit when he wasn't going his way. He's won all his fights easily, but in them 2 fights, when he couldn't quite put a dent in them, you know, when he was hitting them and they weren't going nowhere and they was being ultra negative, it looked like he was falling out of himself a little bit. And Marius Vak, as fast and as hard as Ituma hits, I don't think he's going to be bothering Vak early on. I think Vak is that experienced and big. You know, he's going to take Ituma late. So I'm really intrigued by it. I think Ituma will win. Fully expect him to win. But I would be very surprised if he forces a stoppage. You know, Fraser Clark at 32 years of age couldn't get Vak out of there. And many other good fighters haven't. So I'm going to go Ituma points. I don't think he stops Vak, and I think it'd be good for him if he didn't. I think it'd be good for him to get 10 rounds. At 19 years of age, boxing Marius Vak over 10 rounds is crazy, really. Really good. I think he's brilliant. But I think he's still young and inexperienced as a pro, for definite. So I'm going to have to go... I'll go Ituma on points. The next fight is Raven Chapman, Johanna Sarabia. I have never watched Sarabia. However, Raven Chapman is very good. I did a bit of research on Sarabia. He's only had 1 fight, really. The rest, the records are crazy. 1-12, 0-1, 3 debutants, 0-3. She beat one last time called Anna Maria Lozano. Lost a few rounds to her. That was at Super Bantam as well. This is for the WBC International Featherweight title. So you'd go for Raven Chapman, but again, one I would leave out for betting purposes. And the other interesting fight on the card is Sean Noakes and Dabassi. I think Sean Noakes is really good. I've seen both fellas fight a few times, and I think they're both decent. But Sean Noakes, he's got good balance. He's an actual puncher. He's a good, solid puncher. So I'll go for Noakes stoppage. As for the rest of the card, Royston Barney-Smith's a brilliant fighter. Fully expect him to win, but again, not in the opposition. The other interesting fight on the card is Adam Ahmed. I met him, he trains over at Jamie's gym. Really nice fella, actually. Him and his brother, really nice people. As for his boxing, I haven't... The only boxing I've seen of him, I've seen him in the gym, but I was training at the time, was his pro debut. And the fellow who boxed in his pro debut shouldn't have a professional boxing licence. So I couldn't tell you anything about him. Georgi Valechikov, who he's fighting, is very capable of looking after himself. So if you could get odds on a Hamed points victory, I would be all over that. So overall, if we're talking betting predictions, which is what people tend to come on this channel for, I think we had a really good run, actually. We had a really good run. I would go for a Joe Joyce stoppage and a Ituma points win, a Sean Noakes stoppage win, and if you can get an Adam Hamed points win, which I'm not sure any bookies will give you odds on that, I'd be all over that as well. So yeah, Hamed on points for me would be the bet of the weekend. And the other 3, Ituma points, Noakes stoppage and Joyce stoppage, I'm pretty confident about, but yeah, an absolutely, I don't want to say brilliant, but a very good show, full of talent. So one I'm very much looking forward to.